First with breaking news. First with new information. 19 News starts now with a first alert for severe weather.
19 First Alert Weather Team once again tracking strong winds. Man, they won't go away. We've been tracking power outages since Friday, and we still are. And we're seeing significant wind damage across Northeast Ohio.
And it is a 19 First Alert Weather Day as the temperatures are crashing as well. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nicole Versansky.
And I'm Brian Duffy. Yeah, yesterday 60s, maybe warmer for some of you. Now into the 30s.
What happened?
I don't know.
19 First Alert meteorologist Jason Nicholas is here with Cleveland's most accurate forecast.
I'm asking the same thing. We hit 75 yesterday, Brian. How about that? That was the warmest day of the year, the warmest day we've had since last October. And now, yeah, as you mentioned, we're in the 30s. Live look right now, Edgewater Beach, which, by the way, yesterday had a good amount of folks there enjoying some sunshine. Not the case today. Very strong winds. Live look downtown Cleveland. We're fairly dry, though we do have a little bit of snow out there, which we will get to in a moment. We've extended the alert. John was hinting at this earlier, just due to the fact that while the winds will still be fairly brisk tonight, our concern shifts to a little lake effect snow, something we've been talking about for several days, overnight tonight and then into the day tomorrow, especially early in the day. And we are really highlighting our snow belt here. Outside of the snow belt, a few flakes flying, cold temps, and still windy conditions. But the lake effect snow will primarily be across our eastern snow belt. Possible power outages, and yeah, there is potential for some slick travel once you head off eastern Cuyahoga County into Lake Geauga and Ashtabula as well. Wind gust tracker still pretty brisk out there. These winds will subside a little bit tonight. Much better. That wind advisory goes until 8, and then a little breezy during the day tomorrow. We have the wind advisory for this evening, counties in brown. That's basically I-71 north and west. And then we have a winter weather advisory. This goes into effect this evening and runs through tomorrow afternoon. This is for lake effect snow bands setting up. And again, this is our primary snow belt. The lake is down to like 10% ice covered, so there's a whole lot of open water. Right now we're looking at scattered snow Akron down to New Philly, as well as some pretty good winds too, 30s and 40s. Greater Cleveland is quiet, but you head south and head east, Middlefield, heading down to Akron. Look at the snow right now, the wet snow from Canton down through Dover. We'll track this for you and take a look at when we'll warm things back up. All that, Nicole, coming up.
All right, Jason, thank you. Because of those winds, a lot of people lost power, not once but twice during our severe weather. Taking a look at the latest numbers from First Energy, about 15,000 customers still without power right now. At 3 o'clock, Dan DeRose told us First Energy hoping to have most of that power restored by late tonight. The issue is these winds keep kicking up to gusts of 40 miles per hour. Crews can't get out there and do their job like they need to, but we'll keep you updated on these outages. A favorite golf spot was actually closed because of those gusting winds. Apparently it ripped a hole right in its net. Our own amateur golfer, Harry Boomer, joining us live now with those details. Harry.
You know, Nicole, I'm standing here in the wind and the chill outside of the Topgolf in Independence, waiting for crews to replace that torn net. Now, this is on the south side of the massive net surrounding the Topgolf. Until it is fixed, there will be no fun and games here. Anyone traveling along I-77 or I-480 in Independence has seen this Topgolf facility, but I bet you've never seen it like this, with a gaping hole in one of its nets.
I just noticed when you had mentioned it there, it looks pretty bad.
Michael Babb is one of the estimated 450,000 people a year who play at this 65,000 square foot, 3-level facility on Rockside Woods Boulevard North. While Topgolf has not confirmed it, the netting likely the victim of those powerful winds that ripped through the area over the weekend. 19 News meteorologist John Loftman told me wind gusts were more than 40 miles an hour Sunday afternoon. And that was after Friday saw nearly hurricane-strength wind gusts.
It's the first I've seen it, and I drive by here every day.
Even a hack like me could hit a hole in one today if they could get in. Unfortunately, Topgolf in Independence is closed today, according to the sign on the door. Good. This is Harry Boomer from 19 News. We'd like to talk to somebody about the damage to your netting because of the wind.
Yeah, could I just take a message and get it over to our Director of Operations?
Sure. They likely won't be able to defend the net today because the wind is still blowing hard, whipping the net like a flag on the greens at the world's #1 golf course, Newcastle in Northern Ireland. I'm looking at my feet here. There's several golf balls that presumably somebody with a slice as bad as mine hit over here long before the net was ripped. And I'm still waiting for a statement from Top Golf to tell me what they can about the tear and when it might be repaired. Hopefully by tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. Maybe the luck of the Irish will be with them. In Independence, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.
New body camera video just into the 19 newsroom. It shows the police arriving to and busting into the home and then arresting the mother accused of killing her 2 young daughters and stuffing their bodies in suitcases. First at 4, Brittany Weir working the story for us today, live outside the Justice Center to break it all down. Brittany.
Yes, Cleveland police releasing 3 videos from that moment on March 4th when they arrested Aaliyah Henderson. She is charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder after the bodies of her 2 young daughters were found stuffed inside suitcases and buried in shallow graves. Now, these videos, they give us a closer look at Henderson, and we get to hear what she tells police as they lead her into a cruiser. Take a look at this. This body camera video shows Cleveland police breaking down Aaliyah Henderson's door, going inside of her home, and telling her to come downstairs with her hands up.
Come down now, hands up.
From the video, you can see inside Henderson's living room, where there is a dance pole, a ring light, and pink decor. As Henderson walks down the steps, you can see officers on the right side of your screen searching through her home.
Got her? The girl down. Got it.
Moments later, you can see Henderson covered in a blanket and being led to the back door by police.
Just hold on one second. I'm going to wait for the car to pull in so you don't have to.
Next, listen closely to what she says and who she is concerned about.
Yeah.
I know the neighbors report.
Yeah, you're good. I got you.
Oh my God, my baby. It looks this color?
In the background, you can hear another child in the home asking about their mom. As Cleveland police carefully and gently lead Henderson to the back of the cruiser, an officer introduces himself as a detective, then does something unusual. He gets in the back of the car with Henderson.
I'm Detective Kramer from Cleveland Police, all right?
Henderson was booked into Cuyahoga County Jail that night. Her bond was later set at $2 million. And Henderson appeared last here in court on March 11th, where a judge assigned her private counsel. Now it is up to a grand jury to decide if there is enough evidence in this case to go to trial. In Cleveland, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
Oh, say it ain't snow, but it is. If you're going to be heading on 77, this is what you're going to be dealing with. We have snow coming down, reducing your visibility. So make sure that because your wipers are definitely going to be on, that your headlights are also on. Even though the sun hasn't set yet, it is a law. You don't want to be getting on the highway without people being able to clearly see you. But as you can clearly see here, we have snow covering our drivers in the Canton area and Dover. If this camera would load, you would see similar conditions over by here, where 77 passes Snyder's Crossing Road. This is in that Dover area, and you can see some of that snow accumulating already on the grassy area, although the roads are still relatively clear right now. So if you have to run any errands, get it done now. If you're over in the Canton area, 77 in Belden Village also looks pretty similar to those conditions there. But I'll be keeping my eyes on the roads, especially on 77 right now, and any issues that may be coming up in your way in my First Alert traffic updates.
Well, the city of Cleveland rolling out a new tool to help you navigate what you owe.
What you owe, or perhaps your refund due from the Central Collection Agency. Dan DeRose is here with this new interactive website.
City of Cleveland just trying to help everybody understand before you file your taxes, are you going to get a refund or do you need to start planning to make a payment? We're talking about the CCA. This is not RETA, the Central Collection Agency for Municipal Income Tax. If you live in the city of Cleveland, work in the city of Cleveland, or perhaps make money, maybe you have a rental property, maybe you have a business in the city of Cleveland, you need to know if you're going to pay or pay into or get a refund from the CCA. This is the new interactive website. Now, if your eyes just went cross, this is the same reason I pay somebody to do my taxes. This is exactly what a tax form looks like, but it is all interactive. I'm not going to put my social security number in there because I don't think you need it at home. But then you go through and you put in your total wages. How much did you make in wages? Then you put in what city you work in, and we can go ahead and we'll put in Cleveland. But again, this is a little bit cumbersome, and you have to go through all of this and then find out again. This is exactly like filling out a tax form, but the problem is, and then you put in the rest of the information and they'll calculate either your refund or what you have to do. What we don't want is people thinking by filling this out, you have filed your taxes. That's not the case. This is just a tool to, again, figure out your refund or what you owe. You still have to file either e-file, electronically file, or mail into the CCA what you owe. Now, there are some people who are exempt. I've given you the link to everything you need here, and the people who are exempt from paying CCA, like veterans. That's all information that is on the Cleveland 19 website right now. Brian?
Looks lovely out on the lake today, huh? Nice day for a little sail. Probably not. But
you like getting seasick.
That's right. All right, Jason will return in a couple of minutes. Forecast, hate to tell you, just is not great for the next couple of days, at least.
And about 75% of the U.S. population is going to be impacted by this ongoing storm.
More than 250 million people are expected to experience some type of really bad weather, from severe thunderstorms, blizzard conditions, to widespread strong winds.
Boy, we have had the brunt of those strong winds. Lee Waldman brings us the fallout.
The East Coast is bracing itself against a powerful storm that barreled through the central U.S. this weekend. The mid-Atlantic facing a historic threat from northern South Carolina to the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, staring down a 60% chance of damaging winds from severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, in the south, weather whiplash. Snowflakes are expected in places like Tennessee, Alabama, and northern Georgia just hours after strong to severe storms ripped through with damaging winds. Jackson, Mississippi saw snowflakes and sleet pellets early Monday. The weather pushed Atlanta public schools to switch to a remote learning day. Air travel turning into a nightmare during spring break, with a combination of weather impacts and a TSA worker shortage amidst an ongoing partial government shutdown. Some traveling out of Chicago forced to change their plans.
We're just trying to make sure we can get out, and so last night our flight canceled, and so we're here till like midnight, and so now we're back again today.
Several places in Michigan and Wisconsin received more than 30 inches of snow since a blizzard began hammering the region this weekend.
It's terrible. I would absolutely not be out driving if I didn't have to be. If you don't have a 4x4, I wouldn't leave at all.
At least one person died in a crash in Minnesota. Hundreds of vehicles went off the roads, and dozens were hurt in crashes, according to the state police there. I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, hey, take a look. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. You know, it's an interesting holiday, right? We can have all kinds of weather. I remember 2012, we hit 77 degrees. That was an amazing one. We've had some cold St. Patrick's Days. A lot of times you have the cold air, but it's dry with sunshine. Tomorrow, we'll get some sun from time to time, but also clouds with some bursts of lake effect snow. It may be one of those days where we might get some snow falling with some wind, and the sun will be out. One of those crazy days. 26. We know it's going to be cold. We know it's going to be windy. In fact, especially early on, when folks are out getting their green beers tomorrow morning, single-digit wind chills. How about this live picture? Nicole just made it. You gasped there. This is 77 down in Canton here. Stark County. And you can see while it is snowing, a lot of this isn't sticking to the road. However, it is sticking to the grassy areas, and that's something that we'll likely have to deal with a little bit tonight. This is not lake effect. Lake effect will get going tonight, and that will largely impact our traditional snowbelt, our lake effect snowbelt counties. Blustery winds tonight, and then lake snow develops. So the alert goes through tomorrow. The first part of the alert, the still strong winds, and then late tonight into Tuesday, those lake effect snow squalls will get going. Gusts running 40 to 50 miles per hour potentially still tonight, and then some accumulation by tomorrow afternoon in our snow belt. So possible power outages continue, as well as some slick travel tomorrow morning through the day tomorrow as well in our snow belt. Outside of the snow belt, very little as far as accumulating snow, maybe up to an inch or less, but still it's going to be snowing. Take a look at our wind gusting here tonight, 20s and 30s, still some 40s along the lake shore. Still pretty breezy along the lake shore tomorrow morning. Then those winds will subside a little bit, but it is still going to be very windy tomorrow, even though we won't have a wind advisory in effect. So wind advisory, this goes through this evening, 8 p.m., counties in brown. Then tomorrow, really tonight to tomorrow, winter weather advisory for our snow belt. That goes into effect tonight. We're getting that snow down in Canton, Dover, New Philly. Temperatures are in the 30s. We've got these strong winds, 20s and 30s, 40-mile-an-hour gusts in Lorain, and we are getting that snow mainly south and east of Interstate 71. Cuyahoga County, some light snow. Heavier stuff, Kent, Ravenna, as you head up into Geauga County, and then also Canton down into Dover. This is where we're getting that picture from our first alert camera, and you can see the snow right now down I-77. That could cause a little slushy slick spots in a few locations. 20s tonight, lake snow, windy and cold. High temperatures tomorrow, barely making it to around 28 to 30. Again, this will likely be the coldest St. Patrick's Day since 1984 with a high of 28. A little better Wednesday, little better. Better on Thursday, 50s for the first day of spring, and then a little cooler heading into the early part of next week with perhaps a few rain showers out there as well.
All right, now to your top 4 at 4. Thousands of customers still without power, and it's getting cold. Crews working hard, 16-hour days, according to First Energy. Some people got the juice back on since the weekend storms, only to have it knocked right back out this morning. In Parma, the latest problem was near Ridge and Snow roads. They're still closed there as crews are replacing a snapped utility pole. The good news there is that business in the area, we've been told, still has power.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant!
New body cam video of Cleveland police bursting into the home of Aaliyah Henderson. She's currently locked up on a $2 million bond, charged with the murders of her 2 young daughters, Amor and Mila. Their bodies found stuffed in suitcases, partially buried in a field. Police say a 6-year-old was found inside the home, appeared to be in good health. That child is now with the Department of Children and Family Services.
30 to 40 dogs were found dead after a fire. The Trumbull County dog warden says at least a dozen dogs survived. 5 horses were also found on that property. They were seized and then taken in by a private foundation. The horses already have homes lined up. Case is being investigated as animal hoarding.
Closing arguments today in Akron in the House Bill 6 corruption trial. Former First Energy CEO Chuck Jones and former Senior Vice President Michael Dowling are accused of taking part in a $60 million bribery scheme to get state lawmakers to pass a nuclear plant bailout. Former Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder is already serving 20 years in federal prison.
With tensions rising in the Middle East, young people are learning creative ways to cope with the stress.
So an art therapist in Dubai is helping children find some peace of mind through sounds with singing bowls, chimes, and ocean drums. So kids do breathing exercises. They draw pictures to help process their fears as Iranian missile strikes rattle that region.
I really want to create awareness for the parents and the children that we can still feel some safety within us.
Parents say the sound workshops are helping their little ones and even them feel a bit calmer in the chaos.
Breaking this hour, crews in New York battle this 4-alarm fire and building collapse in Queens. Several people are hurt, including firefighters. 2 people have been taken to the hospital. Critical condition, we understand. More than 230 firefighters and EMS responded. People who live in that area were actually told to keep their windows shut due to all the smoke.
Also breaking in Tampa, MacDill Air Force Base is investigating a suspicious package reported at the Visitor Center. The FBI Tampa office confirmed that Special Agent bomb techs are on scene helping police. The base is not on lockdown during this investigation, but it comes as the base is mourning the loss of 3 U.S. airmen killed when a refueling aircraft crashed during a combat mission in western Iraq.
Well, it happens every year, right? Thousands of people will flock downtown. They will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, but the party and good times can put you and your family at risk.
19 News reporter Stephen Hernandez shows us how state investigators are working to keep drunk drivers off the roads.
It really does start with everybody wants to do the right thing, and now we just have to make sure everybody does.
Robert Bolden is taking his St. Patrick's Day assignment seriously. The agent in charge at the Cleveland District of the Ohio Investigative Unit wants to make sure everyone's following liquor license rules. St. Patrick's Day is one of the biggest party days of the year. Tomorrow, it's all hands on deck.
With that volume of people comes the volume for potential problems.
Those problems can put you and your family's safety in jeopardy. Things like serving alcohol to those who are underage, to over-serving people who have already had one too many. Agents will also be on the lookout for any dangerous behavior.
Very much focused on weapons offenses on and around Ohio's liquor permit premises because we have a direct interest in reducing that violent crime.
If you visit a bar or restaurant for St. Patrick's Day, you won't see a badge or uniform.
Our agents will be working in an undercover plainclothes capacity.
As many as 50 agents will be active across the state for St. Patrick's Day, but here in Northeast Ohio, a lot of their focus is here downtown.
That's where the large amount of people are going to be congregated, so of course that's where a lot of our efforts are going to be focused.
Last year, Cleveland's OIU agents had a busy St. Patrick's Day. 11 people arrested for underage alcohol offenses and 5 weapons seized. But this year, Bolden is hoping for 0 problems and a responsible holiday.
Tips are always appreciated. We're not the only ones that intend to be active and busy and keeping everyone safe tomorrow. We just do it in our own sort of unique way.
In downtown Cleveland, Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
19 crime alert and the search for a wanted fugitive. This is 28-year-old Leonard Dowdell. He's wanted by Cleveland Heights Police and the U.S. Marshals for rape. He's also wanted for parole violations and is known to spend the majority of his time in the Cleveland area. If you have any information, know where he may be, call 1-866-4-WANTED. Tips can remain anonymous. And Cleveland police are looking for this suspect. They say he used a stolen credit card in the lottery kiosk at a gas station on West 117th back in February. He used the card to allegedly steal several lottery tickets, but he wasn't done. Police say he then went to a fast food restaurant, used the stolen card in a kiosk there. Give Cleveland police a call if you may be able to help.
Now the latest developments on a deadly crash in Maple Heights overnight. 1 person was killed. It happened around midnight near the area of Dunham and Granger Roads. Police say a car crashed into some landscaping rocks. They think the driver was speeding. No one else was hurt. Police have not released the name of the victim. Flags are flying at half-staff across our state to honor the 3 Ohio airmen who were killed last week when their aircraft crashed in Iraq. Captain Seth Koval, Captain Curtis Angst, and Sergeant Tyler Simmons died. A total of 6 service members were killed in that crash. Governor DeWine says flags will stay at half-staff until sunset on the day of the airmen's funerals. Right now, we don't know yet when that will be.